हेलो एंड वेलकम टू यूपीएससी बैक बेंचर्स। माय नेम इज शशांक रॉय। आज 12 ऑफ जुलाई का न्यूज़ आर्टिकल है साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शंस के बारे में। कोई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ये करंट अफेयर्स बहुत टाइम से चलता चला आ रहा है। इन दिस आर्टिकल जस्टिस जे एस केहर, एक्स चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया जस्टिस जे एस केहर एंड जस्टिस डी वाई चंद्रचूड़ वर कॉल्ड to meet with the parliamentary panel और parliamentary panel के सामने they discussed about they gave their opinion कि जो हमारा साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शन का जो प्रोविजन है इज दैट जस्टिफाइड और नॉट, क्या चैलेंजेस हैं, क्या प्रॉस हैं, क्या कॉन्स हैं, और दिस इज व्हाट दे सेड. सो आर्टिकल सेज that the election commission has been granted unbridled power in the legislation for simultaneous polls without providing any oversight clause. यानी कि कहा गया है इसमें कि दोनों चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया ने कहा है, एक्स चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया ने कहा है कि इलेक्शन कमीशन को अनब्रिडल्ड पावर दिया गया है व्हेन इट कम्स टू कंडक्टिंग साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शन. उसमें एक ओवरसाइट मैकेनिज्म होने की जरूरत है. यानी अगर कोई गलती होती है, कोई प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो हु विल कंट्रोल और कोर्स करेक्ट द इलेक्शन कमीशन. एट द सेम टाइम साइमल्टेनियस उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शन इज इन नो वे coming in the way of basic structure of the constitution. आपको पता होगा केशवानंद भारती केस 1973 के बारे में, wherein basic structure doctrine came into picture, wherein the Supreme Court said that that Indian Constitution has, the Parliament has power to alter any part of the Constitution without disturbing the basic structure. So simultaneous elections are in no way disturbing the basic structure of the Constitution. This is what they said. इस पैनल में ये भी कहा गया है कि प्रॉब्लम ये है कि लेट्स से साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शन आपने करवा दिए हैं, बट लेट्स से देयर इज अ स्टेट बिहार में आपने इलेक्शन कराया और बिहार में इंस्टेड ऑफ कंप्लीटिंग टोटल 5 years 2 साल बाद जो है गवर्नमेंट कोलैप्स कर जाती है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज, आर यू गोइंग टू री इलेक्ट अनदर गवर्नमेंट, अपॉइंट अनदर गवर्नमेंट फॉर द रिमेनिंग 3 years ओनली, या आप टोटल 5 years टर्म्स के लिए इलेक्शन करेंगे? इफ यू आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग एन इलेक्शन अगेन फॉर रिमेनिंग पीरियड, इसका मतलब यह है कि उतना पैसा खर्च होगा सिर्फ 3 साल इलेक्शन कर 3 साल की गवर्नमेंट के लिए. अगर ऐसा ही एक सिनेरियो हो जहां यूपी में सरकार बन रही हो और 5 years कंप्लीट करने के जस्ट 3 महीने पहले सरकार गिर जाए, इस कंडीशन में क्या आप 3 महीने कोई सरकार नहीं बनाएंगे? क्या 3 महीने आप इलेक्शन नहीं करेंगे, किसी गवर्नमेंट को अपॉइंट नहीं करेंगे? सो ये सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं जिसमें क्लैरिटी की जरूरत है. दिस इज व्हाट these CJIs have said. Now let's talk about article. So Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, one of the best election commissioner India had got, he said that election has become the root cause of corruption in the country. After winning elections, the politician bureaucrat nexus indulges in recovering and in the investment, and that is where corruption begins. So इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स की बहुत बड़ी जरूरत है. इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स आर नीडेड. नाउ दिस इज व्हाट कुछ डिटेल्स है, न्यूज़पेपर की क्लिपिंग है जिसमें बताया गया है अ स्नैपशॉट ऑफ 1951-67 पीरियड. ऐसा नहीं है कि दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शंस जो हैं वो होने जा रहे हैं. नो, नॉट एट ऑल. दीज आर नॉट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन इट between 1951 to 1967, बट बाद में ये प्रैक्टिस जो है वो डिसकॉन्टिन्यूड हो गया. सो फिर से इसको रिजुविनेट करने की बात चल रही है. ओके, सो नंबर ऑफ स्टेट विद साइमल्टेनियस लोकसभा एंड विधानसभा इलेक्शंस. 1951 में आपके 26 ऐसे स्टेट्स थे जहां पे साइमल्टेनियस लोकसभा और विधानसभा के इलेक्शंस हुए थे. नाउ नंबर ऑफ स्टेट्स विदाउट साइमल्टेनियस लोकसभा एंड विधानसभा इलेक्शंस 4 हैं. ठीक है, और ये पूरा डेटा दिया हुआ है लोकसभा और विधानसभा इलेक्शंस के बारे में. जस्ट गुड टू नो इन्फॉर्मेशन. नाउ रिवाइविंग द ओल्ड डिबेट. एक्स प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया रामनाथ कोविंद वाज द हेड ऑफ द कमिटी जिसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया गया था साइमल्टेनियस इलेक्शंस के बारे में विचार करने के लिए, और they have already submitted their report in September 2024 to the President of India. Okay, so recommendation की बात कर लेते हैं कि who all recommended for simultaneous elections. नीति आयोग in 2016 paper co-authored by Vivek Devaroy, who is no more between us, and Kishore Desai said that separate elections lead to massive recurring expenditure as well as prolonged deployment of forces. So they recommended कि simultaneous election होना चाहिए. In 2005, the House Panel on Personal Public Grievances, Law and Justice also recommended simultaneous elections. In 1999, the Law Commission of India in 170th report said that electoral reforms की जरूरत है, and out of those electoral reforms, holding simultaneous polls would be ideal, but a workable formula is required to be in the constitution. Means, what are the constitutional articles that need to be shared? Okay, that need to be amended. The holding of a separate election to assemblies should be an exception and not the rule. Another law report जो 2018 में आया that said simultaneous polls don't alter balance of power between the union and the state. Now let's have a look at the article जो कि जिसको अमेंड करने की जरूरत है, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन है इलेक्शन से रिलेटेड. Article 83 talks about, specifies the duration of Lok Sabha House of People, stating that it shall continue for 5 years from its first meeting unless dissolved earlier. अगर ये सरकार 5 साल से पहले डिसॉल्व नहीं होती है तो it must complete 5 years. Article 172, it is related to state legislative assembly. It says that legislative assembly shall continue for 5 years from the date of its first meeting unless dissolved earlier. Article 324 says, empower the election commission to supervise, direct and control the preparation of electoral roll and conduct of elections to the parliament, state legislature, the office of the president and vice president. And again, let me make it clear, अभी हमारे यहाँ सिस्टमेटिक इंटेंसिव रिवीजन चल रहा है. किसका चल रहा है? इलेक्टोरल रोल्स का, जो अभी चर्चा में आया हुआ था. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज क्या ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कंप्लीट मैंडेट है? Preparation of electoral rolls? Yes, under Article 324, Election Commission has complete control to supervise, direct and control the preparation of electoral rolls and conduct the elections to the Parliament, State Legislative Assembly, the office of the President and the Vice President. Article 356 allows the imposition of President rule in the state in case of failure of constitutional machinery leading to direct rule by the President through the Governor. आपने मणिपुर में देखा होगा, मणिपुर प्रेसिडेंट रूल. नाउ एक चीज हमें क्लियर करनी होगी दैट इन इलेक्शन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया टॉक्स अबाउट द एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ द ऑफिस ऑफ द इलेक्शन कमीशन एज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी, बट द रियल पावर ऑफ इलेक्शन कमीशन कम्स फ्रॉम रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल एक्ट 1951, 1950 and 51. Okay, so provides the legal framework for conducting elections in India, covering aspects such as electoral rolls, qualification for membership and election conduct. So these are the topics that you need to, these are the articles जो कि आपको ध्यान में रखने हैं. आगे चलते हैं. Now what are the dialogues? What are the benefits that we are going to accrue? It says that it will reduce election expenditure. Now अगर इंडिया की बात बोले, India has become a land of elections. Every time, every year we have election in one or the other state. So reducing election expenditure, कॉन्स्टेंटली इंडिया जो है पूरे साल भर जो है पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शंस के साथ साथ आपके स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली हर 1 साल 2 साल में किसी न किसी स्टेट में साइमल्टेनियसली, कई बार तो 4-4, 5-5 स्टेट्स में इलेक्शंस होते रहते हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ विच देयर इज अ ह्यूज एक्सपेंडिचर किसमें है? ह्यूज एक्सपेंडिचर प्रिपरेशन ऑफ इलेक्टोरल रोल्स, requisition of staffs to conduct elections, right? Logistical arrangements and security, right? These are the election expenditure which will be substantially reduced if we go for simultaneous elections. Now it also says that it will lead to better governance. It shows that once the simultaneous election will will take place, it will give more time. Then the government will be able to give more time and attention to pressing needs of the country instead of being on its toe related to elections. Now voter convenience. Now voter fatigue is a term. Voter fatigue. What is the term? Let's say I am a daily wage laborer, but I also want to participate in election, but I cannot. It becomes very difficult for me to travel from one place to another place every now and then. Sometimes parliamentary election में participate करने के लिए, फिर state legislative assembly में, फिर पंचायत elections में और फिर municipal level elections में बार-बार. This leads to voter fatigue. सो वोटर को भी कन्वीनियंस होगा. नाउ इट विल रिड्यूस सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न. सिक्योरिटी यस, बहुत बड़े लेवल पे आपको सिक्योरिटी करनी है, अरेंजमेंट करने पड़ते हैं, स्पेशली इन नक्सल बेल्ट, नक्सल एरिया, hilly mountainous area, right? In rainy season, again terrorist attacks are also there, so we have to be on our toes when it comes in terms of security related matters. So इसमें भी बहुत बड़ा expenditure जाता है. Now it says that level playing field will be given to the national political parties, to the national political parties and regional political parties, which I do not agree. I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. So, but again, यहाँ पे this is the argument, this is the discussion, this is the point जो कि ये कमेटी देता है कि level playing field मिलेगा national और regional political parties को, and it will reduce impact on education. Why? क्योंकि जो staff member हैं, election commission doesn't have so huge an army जो state और parliamentary election को conduct कराए. So what election commission does? जहाँ कहीं भी state में elections होते हैं, election commission put forward its request for the requisition of the staffs ये staffs कौन होते हैं? They are government employees, primarily government teachers. So whenever आपने सुना होगा, अगर आप किसी स्कूल में होंगे, आपके पापा अगर टीचर होंगे, गवर्नमेंट टीचर, सो बट ऑब्वियसली उनको इलेक्शन वर्क के लिए कई बार बाहर जाना पड़ता होगा, है ना? So it shows that it will reduce impact on education. So these are the arguments given in favor of simultaneous election. But इसके अगेंस्ट में भी बहुत से पॉइंट हैं. वो पॉइंट्स क्या हैं? One nation, one election will overshadow regional issues. Now, if we talk about India's development, India has witnessed skewed development. Skewed development. We have a high income state such as Maharashtra, such as Gujarat, such as Kerala, such as Karnataka, such as Andhra, right? And we have low performing states such as Uttar Pradesh, we have Bihar, and some other state. I will not say non-performing, low performing states in comparison of these states, because these states are industrialized with skilled workforce, with the resources, and well connected with the trade routes, right? Export import में इनका बहुत बड़ा participation है, whereas these states are inland states, hinterlands. They are not connected to the oceans. They are not coastal states. So इनके challenges बिल्कुल अलग हैं. But एक चीज समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. Now, if you look at the state of Uttar Pradesh, इसको मिटा देते हैं. If you look at the state of Uttar Pradesh, and if you look at the state such as Karnataka. Now, these are two different states with different geographical locations and different resources availability. Now, Uttar Pradesh might have a priority to make a Ram Mandir. Uttar Pradesh might have the priority to make Ram Mandir, but Karnataka might be going for establishing semiconductor industry. They might be planning to go for artificial intelligence related thing. So here, I will not say making Ram Mandir is bad, but it's all about political scenarios. Uncle rakh dijiye. It's all about political priorities, right? Political priorities. So Uttar Pradesh or other states may go for the temple related issues, whereas the southern state may spearhead their movement for inviting global companies for semiconductors or artificial intelligence related initiative, or they might take a decision to make their economy a $3 trillion economy. So there is a difference of perspective. Don't take me wrong for this mandir, but there is a difference of perspective and there is a difference of political priority. At the same time, अगर हम दो states की बात बोले, तो here national priority, what is our national priority? As of now, central government is trying to go for the artificial intelligence, semiconductor, critical mineral supply chain, but that may not be the priority for a state like Bihar. Bihar wants employment. Bihar wants fertilizer supply. Bihar wants employment, fertilizer special package. special package to deal with flooding situation. Bihar wants a rail connectivity. So here, national priority is different from the state priority. So every state has their own issues. So this is absolutely a legitimate discussion that regional political overshadowing regional issues under the national political party. Now, impact on regional political party, definitely it will happen. Regional political party may be overshadowed by the might of national political party or the large political parties. Federal concern. What are federal concern? Federal concern means separation of power. Separation of power. State is independent in their own rights, whereas nation is in the union is independent in their own rights. But there are problems. There may a problem related to federalism, federal structure, logistical hurdles. It will be very difficult to manage simultaneous election in one go. And what will happen? एक सबसे बड़ा जो concern है वो ये है mid-term dissolutions. What if a government has been formed in Rajasthan and ideally it should complete 5 years of term, but it gets dissolved just after 2 years. Now the question is, are you going to form a government? Are you going to form a government just for 3 years for the remaining period, or this government will continue for 5 years? If it continues for 5 years, again it will misaligned with one nation, one election theory. So let's say there is a government which has completed 4 years, 8 months, and just after 4 months, before 4 months, government is dissolved. So what will you do? Will you wait for the next 4 months so that in one go simultaneous election can be conducted, or will you appoint a caretaker government, or what action will you take? Again, if election commission is not following constitutional principle, what is the oversight mechanism? What is the oversight mechanism? Okay, so these are some legitimate concern. So what is the need of the hour? The need of the hour is there must be a legislative deliberation with the states and other stakeholders. There must be consensus building. We should launch, instead of launching a full scale one nation full scale implementation, we should go for pilot project. Let's say conduct simultaneous election in 5 states as a trial. Just look at the pros and cons and then decide, instead of going for a blanket implementation. Now, resource investment, that's also a concern, and public awareness. Inform public. There must be a proper publicity. There must be awareness campaign. There must be awareness campaign. Otherwise, the people might misunderstand government's efforts. Okay, so this is it. I hope you understood the concept. Thank you so much. Wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.